Josh's Order Corner. That's me. Did you catch my review of Stephen King's Never Flinch? If so, I hope you liked, commented, all that jazz. We're ready to talk about the next book on my I just finished this pile, and that is Mark Hoppus's memoir, Fahrenheit 182. This is a signed edition, which is not necessarily the reason I bought it. I love memoirs, but it was a nice little bonus. Congrats, you're about to read your favorite book of all time. Boom. Mark Hoppus is one of the founding members, the bass player, vocalist of Blink-182, as well as Plus 44. Mark Hoppus is a very talented individual, and the part of Blink-182 that I appreciate the most. See, I was never a big fan of Blink-182. I'll say it. I watched TRL all the damn time, and I loved TRL. It was so exciting, so fun, and I saw Blink-182 during interviews, and I saw their music videos. I tried to love Enema of the State. I know I had a copy of the Mark, Tom, and Travis show, and I tried to love it. Some of the jokes in there were funny, but overall, I just didn't get it. Like, I didn't really like the pop punk kind of stuff. I didn't really like the jokes and the innuendos and just the trying to be funny, raunchy humor stuff that they did. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Now, in this book, we learn where Mark came from. We learn about his life growing up, about his struggles at home. We learn the hidden meaning behind spilling the apple juice in the hall, to a song that I will always say is a great song, Adam's Song. We learn all of these things, and then we also get that inside look at the dynamics of the members of Blink-182 from their formation all throughout. Travis Barker joining and really being this calm, cool, collected mind that balanced out the wild antics of Mark and Tom. The more I experience Blink-182, and even in reading the book, the more I find it's not that I don't like Blink-182, it's that I don't like Tom DeLonge. I don't like his vocals, I don't like his attitude, I don't like his pompous nature. I don't like it. But I can understand why he's a necessary piece of the puzzle for a Blink-182 fan. I didn't listen to Blink for years, and then they released California with Matt Skiba, and I love Matt Skiba, and I love Alkaline Trio, so it got me interested to hear what Blink was up to, and I loved that album. Not so much Nine, but I loved California, and that's really what resonated with me and showed me like I'm not. It's not that I don't like Blink; it's that I don't like Tom. It's just his constant need to add that nasally flair, and even in live videos now, it seems like he does it as a joke of itself. But I digress. That's all I need to say about that. When it comes to this story, hi, my name is Mark, and this is a book about my favorite band, Blink-182. His jokes are there. His humor is there. He makes some really funny, like, get your mind out of the gutter comments throughout, and it's very enjoyable. I read this pretty quickly. I started reading it on June 26th, and I finished it June 29th. This book clocks in at, oh boy, 379 pages, and it really was a page turner. And it says, spilled apple juice, worldwide domination, band breakups, depression, and of course, cancer. This is Fahrenheit 182. Congratulations, you've picked up the best memoir in the history of the written word. This is the story of Mark Hoppus, bassist, songwriter, and vocalist for the greatest band ever, Blink-182. In Fahrenheit 182, Mark guides you through his tempestuous childhood as a Navy brat and latchkey kid in the California desert, bouncing back and forth between his parents' houses after their bitter divorce. Several questionable 80s hairstyles later, his formative college dropout years led him to San Diego, where a chance encounter with a fellow punk rock skate rat led to one of the most influential songwriting partnerships in music. It was there in a suburban garage that Blink-182 was born. After years of grinding it out in dingy rock clubs, Blink 182 caught a few lucky breaks and catapulted into mega stardom in the late 90s and early 2000s. Graduating from small venues to sold out stadiums, the band went on to sell over 50 million albums as they became a fixture on MTV's TRL and ushered a whole new era of pop punk into the mainstream, influencing generations of fans worldwide with their catchy, poignant songs and clever music videos. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Mark fought a constant battle with anxiety and depression under the tremendous weight of it all. Mark journeys through the triumphs, hijinks, and breakups of Blink 182, falling in love with his wife Sky, becoming a dad, and battling cancer, also a dick joke or two. Fahrenheit 182 is the official decree from the voice of a generation. You're welcome. You may ask yourself, Josh, if you don't like Blink 182, why would you read this memoir? Because I love reading about the minds behind things like this. And I love reading about people who are. I thought he was closer to my age than he is. He's 53. That's 13 years older than me, you old shit. But seeing how that band exploded during my youth, if you missed the days of TRL, you missed out. TRL was like the thing. After school every day, TRL, top 10 music countdown. And Blink 182 was always there. Limp Bizkit, Korn, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. It was a battle between my sister and I watching these bands and celebrating the wins for our genres. I loved seeing that. And when Mark accidentally outed his cancer diagnosis, even though I wasn't a fan, I was like, shit, that's awful. That's terrible because fuck cancer. I will curse on that note. Um, it they're real people. The people behind these bands and behind the scenes, they're real people. So learning about their lives and how they got there is exciting to me. I enjoy those opportunities. And hearing his story of navigating life through working with his best friends, that friendship falling apart, forming new friendships, things like that was an exciting journey. I also wanted to hear a bit about how it played about how Matt Skiba got pulled into the mix and how he got booted back out of the mix. And it seems like it didn't really go into too much depth there, but it does seem like that they brought him in. It was ending on good terms, and he knew the whole time like this is just a part-time thing. They're gonna put the pieces back together. They're gonna stay together for the kids. They're gonna get back together for the kids. Whatever. It was a great book. And there was some crazy things that Mark has experienced and dealt with that are very much one in a million things. And he makes reference to that a few times. I highly encourage you to pick this one up. I did give it a full 5 stars, which is not something that I do very often, but I will read you my review and then we will call it a day. It's important to start by saying I never really liked Blink 182. I remember seeing them on TRL, catching the music videos, and just not caring. I had burned copies, yeah, take that, burned copies, of Enema of the State and a store bought version of the Mark, Tom, and Travis show, but it was all too annoying, the jokes too mature for me to enjoy. Except one part of the Mark, Tom, and Travis show. You can leave now and beat the traffic, or stay here and beat your meat. For some reason, that spoke to me. Then California came out, and I loved it. Plus, I've always loved almost everything Travis has done, especially the transplants. Two key pieces that I enjoy about Blink 182. Turns out, I just can't stand Tom. Even now, when I catch live clips, Tom just seems bored, like he's not even there for the right reasons. But all of it, gets set aside today. Mark may have been immature as hell, but he always felt real, genuine, and interesting. From the second I heard he was releasing this memoir, I knew I had to read it. It's an amazing, honest, vulnerable story about a 1 in a million chance that keeps happening to someone who didn't try to be anything but himself. Someone who stayed true to his family and his band. I respect the hell out of this book and the guy who wrote it. It didn't make me appreciate Tom anymore, but I will go back and listen to Blink again and try to appreciate it. Go, Bass Boy. It's your birthday. I am currently reading Chuck Wendig, The Staircase in the Woods. This will be the next review that we do. If you've read this, be prepared to share your thoughts. If you avoided it for any reason, be prepared to share your thoughts. This is going to be a fun one. I've read a couple things by Chuck so far, and I've really been looking forward to this one. So happy to pick it up off the shelf and dive into it. Until next time.
Do 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 do.